caller 1, who is Dave in Omaha, Nebraska, who was the very first caller and so has been waiting the longest, and I think he should get some precedent for that. So,
hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Reason I'm an atheist, and what I'm calling is because I have been looking up in the New Testament all of the different references to slavery. I'm sure you're familiar with them.
Yeah. Sometimes they try to call it servant, but they were slaves.
Are you thinking of being a slave? Or?
Go ahead.
I have the King James, so they call them servant in the references.
Yeah.
And what I discovered was something that I don't believe I've ever heard you guys talk about. Now, I'm no Bible scholar, so I'm sure this has been known for 1,000 years or more. But what I found is that there's 6 that I found in the New Testament, and every one of them is essentially talking to slaves who are Christians.
Well, sure, because they were writing the letters to the Christians.
Yeah, but when they say, and essentially I just thought that was amazing that these are slaves that are Christians. Mm-hmm. And the first one, for instance, the First Corinthians one, mm-hmm. they're essentially saying, if you're a slave, hey, just stay a slave. Don't try. You were called to be a slave.
Slaves obey your masters, and they're very, very pacifist in the New Testament as far as everything, government, slavery, all of that. They were very pacifistic.
Yeah, but in this case, it's let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Art thou called being a servant? Care not for it. But if thou mayest be made free, use it rather.
Sure.
For he that is called in the Lord being a servant is the Lord's freeman. And it goes on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was amazed. I found 6 different references in the New Testament, and pretty much they're all the same. They
sure.
are essentially saying, be a slave and be a good slave.
Correct.
So,
great. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Did that surprise you?
It surprised me because I'd never heard it, specified in that way, where they're not talking to a slave that might have been a Hittite or a slave that was not Christian. That was covered in the Old Testament.
Right.
I think that's when Christianity started, right?
Say again?
I think that's when Christianity started after the Old Testament. So
Yeah. All right. Well,
thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you for the point. I would say you're correct in that interpretation.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Who do we have up here?
3 Christians. Spin the wheel. See what happens.
No, there's only one Christian.
Oh, there's only one Christian.
It doesn't say Christian. It just says theist.
My apologies.
All right. Let's go then with Adam, because we prioritize the theists generally.
Don't hit the red one.
No, I'm not. I'm going